everybody. It's your boy Ace Boon. Yours truly. Welcome to the monthly weekly show. And it's yours truly, Ace Boon Comedy. Did I say the monthly weekly show? I said it this time, right?
You said it right this time.
Okay, welcome to the monthly weekly show. In case I said it wrong, welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Ace Boon. And with my co-host, you got Dré the Hall.
Dré the janitor.
Dré the janitor. Dré the stripper.
You know,
Dré,
that nigga.
Yep, that nigga. And we finally made it on live. You know what I'm saying? And thank everybody for tuning in. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We're going to get started with the show. We got off to a late start. We had some not technical difficulties this time. Well, a few technical difficulties, but it was mostly the traffic.
Oh, yeah.
This traffic was horrible out there today. It was actually not that bad. We just had an accident for somebody who was a moron. You know what I'm saying? Basically, we're driving on the freeway. Dude decides he just wants to do donuts right in the middle of the freeway. And so that's what he did. He did a couple of donuts, slowed everybody down.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it, but I heard it on the radio.
Oh, okay.
The lady fucked it up, though. Instead of saying donuts, she said something stupid like bear claw. Something stupid. She didn't say donuts, though. You know what I mean?
Telling.
No, she didn't even say fish telling. She said something that was super corny.
Oh, okay.
So I was just like, all right, lady. You know what I mean? Because I listen to the radio when I'm on the freeway because I'm in the Bay Area. There's so much traffic here now because everything's so overcrowded. You have to pay attention to where you're going to go, else you'll get stuck somewhere for hours. This shit becoming worse as bad as L.A. now. It really is.
Yeah, that's what I said. I call this mini L.A., man, for real.
It's bad. It's terrible. You know what I mean? So all y'all people thinking you want to come to the Bay Area, California, all that bullshit, don't come. It's bullshit. The only good thing left is the weather now. And Ace Boon Comedy. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Everything else is falling off. But it's some good stuff if you come to Oakland and everything. It's some good stuff going on.
Ace Boon Comedy, Ace Boon Open Mic.
We got Ace Boon Comedy. Like you said, you're right, Drake. We got Ace Boon Comedy. We got the Ace Boon Comedy Open Mic. We got the Ace Boon Comedy clothing store coming up. We got the Ace Boon Comedy Restaurant coming up. No, I'm just playing. Dylan. You know what I mean? It's all good. Hell yeah. But thank everybody for tuning in. That's tuning in out there. Before we get going, want to holler at Drizzle. We're going to go straight to the this segment of the show called Dré Thoughts. So we're going to go to Dré the Hall, Drizzle, Washington. What's your thoughts for the day, Dré?
Man, what's up, everybody? I got to give a major shout out to all comedians out there. Last night, I lost my virginity at my brother's open mic.
Oh, yeah.
It went pretty good, man, but I got some work to do. But for the most part, I have fun. But I just got to give a major shout out to the comedians out there that do their thing, man. And it takes guts to keep going, to keep pushing. Even if things don't turn out right, man. You know, if it's something you like or something you want to get into, make sure you go in full-heartedly and give it your all. And don't get discouraged if, I said it right. Don't get discouraged if,
you didn't fuck it up.
Usually we butcher English language around here. We do it all the time, and it won't be the first, and it ain't gonna never be the last. But it'll happen again.
Especially when we got a little drink or something. We really be fucking the English language.
Yeah, but I definitely will be back, and I will definitely remember my material, cause I got up there. And I was on the road with it, but then I forgot most of my material, and then I just started freestyling, but it turned out cool, and I had one heckler, but she helped me out though. For some reason, she didn't like. I made a comment that I was telling ladies sperm is good for your skin, and she really got offended off that. Like I was on a whole nother joke, and she brought that shit back up. Like, no, yeah, that ain't right. That ain't about that sperm in the skin. I don't like that. That's somebody that got hella sperm on their skin. Actually, she had good looking skin too. So that let me know she got shot in the face a couple of times. She was about 55, but she looked at like 43. I'll give her that.
She had it all up on there. Yeah.
But other than that, man, the room is cool, man. So all the comedians out there, every third Wednesday, if you're ever in town, come drop by the Banks Club, 3900 San Pablo. Man, it's a cool little room, and come work on your material, man.
Shout out to Anna out there, the owner. You know what I'm saying? Her and her family. Shout out to them. They've been that bank club been over there for decades. Yeah, her daddy used to own it, and it was around for a long time.
And it had some of the people in there from the 50s too. Nigga Dick Gregory came out of the grave and was playing dominoes last night. That shit was amazing.
Dick Gregory was in there slapping balls.
It was amazing.
OG up in there. It was amazing, man. There. But it be litty though. It's like and Dré, like I said, Dré had his first time on the mic last night. You know what I'm saying? Trying out the comedy thing. Good job, man.
It was good. It was lit, man.
I want to give you props. And the one thing I appreciate about what Dré did, it's a lot of comedians out there. Cause see me, I'm a firm believer in practice makes perfect. Right? I'm a firm believer in that. And it's a lot of comedians out there, and I don't knock, everybody got their own way, the way they do something, the way they do stuff. But one thing I want to give you credit for, Dré, is when you went up there with no notepad or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it shows that you actually put thought in trying to craft your set and trying to develop the set before you went up there. Yeah. You put some work into it. Yeah. And a lot of comedians go to open mics, they have notebooks and stuff. And for all the new comedians out there, the new comics out there, you trying to be a comedian, try not to use the notebooks when you're doing open mics. Because if you practice doing the notebooks and looking down at the notebook and all that, you practice that, that's how you're going to perform on stage. Because you got to remember, open mic is basically like practice for you. So if that's the way you practice it, when you get in the game, you freeze up, you're going to look down for something that ain't going to be there. You can't take that on stage. You trying to be a professional. You know what I mean? And so I really appreciate the fact that you didn't use that. Use no notebook or something. Keep that up. That's a good practice, because that's a bad habit to have, going to the notebook. I've seen people even stop in the middle of sets and pull out a cell phone and try to find jokes in their phone. That is so unprofessional because, in my opinion, because it's just the crowd. If the crowd don't, this is what the feedback I got from people in the crowd that said stuff about other comedians that bring the notebook. They said, look, they said, wow, if you don't take enough thought into putting into your joke and learning your own material, then we ain't gonna laugh at the shit. It ain't gonna be funny to us if we see you looking at a notebook. We don't feel like you care that much about your own craft.
I think, and then it makes anybody feel like, oh man, if you can do that, I should be up there. I can do that too with a notebook. You know what I'm saying? So,
exactly.
Yeah, people look at it in different ways.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just certain things you don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's bad. It's a bad habit to get into. So if you new out there trying to do comedy, don't go to open mics with a notebook on stage. That's one thing. If you going through some notes before you get on stage, that's one thing. You know what I mean? Or it's another thing too. The professionals do it. The big stars, they do it.
But it's the way they do it though.
The crowd will never know they doing it though. You see what I'm saying?
But then it's a way that, like Dion Cole, how he'll do it. You see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But he'll put it back up. But he'll be like, oh, that ain't working.
Yeah, it's part of his routine.
Yeah.
And he's the only one that's ever tried to do that. I saw this chick try to do it right at Tommy T's one night. It was bullshit. And she was like, with Dion Cole, I'm like, Dion Cole did it as part of his routine. Yeah. You can't do that. That's basically biting his thing.
But mind y'all too though, Dion Cole is a writer also. He writes too. He wrote for years for Conan O'Brien, so it's a different.
He was the chief writer for Conan O'Brien.
Matter of fact, your open mic, the guy was doing that. But he had the whole notebook out and he kept He kept trying to act like it was part of his routine, but then he'll be looking on the notepad too. So yeah, man.
It's like everybody got their thing, but and like I say, open mic is practice, but in my opinion, it's better to try to work on your shit and then practice it the way you're gonna do it on stage. Now, unless you like a big star, the big stars do it, but they going up there doing 1 hour, hour and a half sets. And so what they do is they'll have a little stool on there with the little water sitting next to it and a towel. So when they take their break in the middle of their set, they go get some water, they look down and they look at an idea and they keep back to the show. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the ways they do it. You know what I mean? But they trying to do like 90 minutes worth of material. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They basically trying to do 60 jokes. You know what I mean? So that's a whole different level. So of course, you're going to need a little reference here and there. Yeah. But just you going up there just doing a 5-minute set, you shouldn't need no notebook for a 5-minute set. You know what I'm saying? Just don't get into that habit of practicing that if you're new out there. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. So yeah, man. Talk about how was your day, Dré?
Oh man, the usual, man. Shit. I gotta give a shout out before I say how was my day, man. I gotta give a shout out to the bartender at the Banks Club.
The Bank Club, you add an S to it.
Oh, hey, that's how that drink had me feeling. I only had one drink from there last night, man, but I was feeling that motherfucker all the way till I got home. I was like, damn, I'm buzzed off this one drink. So, man, if you go in there and order you a drink, man, you gonna get your money's worth. I can't even lie.
Oh, the Bank Club is lit.
Man.
They make good drinks. And Anna came, she created this drink called the Watermelon Cooler. I think it's called a Watermelon
That's
Cooler.
The one everybody had last night? That's the one in the, yeah.
Yeah, that shit is good as hell. You gotta watch out for that one. I had to stay away from the Bank Club for about a week or two because I was starting to drink them motherfuckers like it was lemonade. Them motherfuckers hella good.
Yeah.
You know? But, you know, go out there and support the Bank Club. It's litty. Right on for sure.
Yeah. But back to what you said. My day, man, my day was cool. She went to work, knocked it out, my usual. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I seen somebody that was at the Bank Club last night. She cracked a joke and she was like, "Oh, I don't even know you. I don't know this dude." Like she was cracking a joke. The lady I introduced you to.
Oh yeah.
She works at the sheriff's department.
One of your coworkers.
Yeah, but she was telling me, she was like, I surprised her, but she was surprised that I was there because she was like, "That's my spot." She was like, "That's my spot." That's like cheers to her. Yeah, you know, everybody got love and they hug. Everybody is hella cool.
Man.
I didn't even know how cool the spot was because I got freaked apparently, and I didn't even know I was getting freaked. I was getting freaked by a birthday girl. You know,
shout out to the birthday girl.
She put the booty on my back. 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 But yeah, so. But other than that, man, the lady at my job even gave me, you know, props. She was like, you know, you got to start from somewhere. She was like, I did good for the first time, and she was like, you just got to keep working on it.
Yeah, that's all. It's like anything else. You got to keep working on it, and see, it's all the cats. I gotta seen cats come out and try to do comedy, and they have one good set, and then they think their head get big, and then all of a sudden they ain't funny 10 straight times in a row, and then they wonder why people ain't laughing because you ain't working on your game. You gotta work on this shit. It's like no matter how good you see Kobe worked. He was the first person in the gym and the last one to leave every time. Even when somebody tried to stay later, he would stay. You know what I'm saying? Somebody tried to stay later than him one time. He was there till 3 in the morning, just waiting for them to leave.
An interesting point about that too. What you said about Kobe? He said a lot of young players would come ask him, you know, how can they get better? And he was like, the reason why, he's like, he'll tell himself, but he was like, I can't tell you. You only know what you need to get better on. Yep. You can tell me, you got to know your weaknesses. Yep. So you work on that. He was like, now if you can tell me your weaknesses, I can tell you things to do to work on your weaknesses. He said, he said a lot of times players and people, they depend too much on the coaching. Yep. But if you don't work on your weaknesses, you'll never really know your strengths. You don't know your full potential. So work on your weaknesses, and you know, that's what, I just want to elaborate on that point.
Yep, it's just like anything else. Like even the Kung Fu Sensei, the Karate Sensei say, you know, the dragon is from within, not without. That's how, you know. And you standing there wondering what the fuck it mean. Basically, dig inside of yourself and figure yourself out, motherfucker. Yeah. That's basically what the shit means.
Find that dragon flame inside your ass.
Yeah. Reach down deep and get some strength, some inner strength, motherfucker. That's basically what the Chinese man was trying to tell you. You know what I mean?
Because inside, you are the master.
Yep, exactly.
Shout out to Blue Sea-Roy.
Hell yeah. Show enough. You know what I mean? Shout out to Show Enough died, blood.
Show Enough been dead, blood.
When did he die?
I don't know, but he been dead. You keep saying
I saw an article, blood. I was like, no, not Show Enough. He ain't dead. He had the Converse, the bubblegum Converse on.
Yeah, Show Enough been
Show
dead,
Enough died when we was little, blood. That was the movie, blood.
He's a good actor, too, man.
That was the movie, blood.
Yeah. That was one of his best acting roles, though, Show Enough.
Hey, for y'all, if y'all ain't never seen that movie, go see.
That's a classic, man. Is it The Last Dragon?
The Last Dragon?
Yeah, it's The Last Dragon.
Yeah, The Last Dragon.
Last Dragon.
It's a hood classic from the 80s. It's one of the funniest.
Matter of fact, The Star, that was his only movie.
That was his only movie. You ain't seen that motherfucker since he was a one-year queer.
He still look the same. He make training videos and shit now. Tamek, whatever his name is.
I forget his name. But The Last Dragon was a hood classic, bro.
No.
Hood classic. And his brother was the breakdancer in there and shit.
Yeah,
Stevie Wonder was on the soundtrack. The Barge was on the soundtrack.
You the one that beat me up. His brother is the one that shot Ricky and Boys in the Hood.
His brother sure did. He got older. He switched from breakdancing to shoot niggas on Boys in the Hood. He was in that movie. He shot Ricky in the back. You dirty nigga. You killed Ricky. You bastard.
Bless
you. You killed Ricky, bruh. Me and Ricky was about to go to college and everything. You killed Ricky, bruh. You a hater. That nigga was hating on his brother even back then. He had his brother back in the movie.
At the end,
he had his brother back.
He used to clown him.
It's
kind of like I used to do you.
Nah, you ain't do me like that.
Not that bad.
Back then.
Not that bad.
He used to get on him like he was the big brother, fucking him and shit. Throwing bread at him.
But you wasn't like dude though, The Last Dragon. Though they made Last Dragon like a super. He was an 80s sucker though.
But hey, when he could fight hella good though, but he was a sucker. But then once he realized that the dragon was within and not without.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what made his brother respect him. Once that nigga got with Vanity, he's like, my brother's the man.
Oh yeah, hell yeah, that's what did it right there. Hell yeah, cause Vanity, she was bad back then. She was fine.
Shit.
Man, she died too. She did. Yeah. She died 10 years ago or something. She got died.
She got died.
Yeah, Vanity got died.
Shout out to Reverend Junior, because I still thinking about that. He was like, hold up, man, I've been knowing you for a minute. Please explain to me got died.
Hey, that's on episode 4 of the monthly weekly show. If you want me to break down the definition of what God died, go watch episode 4. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was a cold ass movie. That was a good movie.
Yeah.
Man, that was real good. Let's go to the comments, y'all. Let's see here. We got Lucius Lou tuned in. We got Yolanda.
Shout out to Yolanda.
Shout out to Luana, Lulu. She said, my favorite drink is cherry Kool-Aid with 4 cups of sugar.
Hey, that shit lit right there. That cherry Kool-Aid with them 4 cups of sugar, man.
Hey, cherry Kool-Aid. You know what I mean?
Never go wrong with that red. It's really red.
See, I ain't drank Kool-Aid in hella long now because I'm afraid to get diabetes, right? I'm at that age where it's like, borderline where you gotta be careful about shit now. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the day, I could drink a whole pitcher of Kool-Aid, go outside, run it off, burn all that sugar off in like an hour, be done. Now, man, I drink 1 cup of Kool-Aid, I got 4 slabs of bacon on my back. Just like that. Hell yeah, man.
I'm over here getting Johnny Depp over here.
Oh, okay. Well, that leads us into our our topic of the night. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, before we go into the topic of the night, I want to tell everybody, I'm announcing right here on the show, we have the Loyal Follower Contest ongoing right now. And we changed the rules to the contest. And these are the last rules. We ain't changing the rules no more. The rules of the contest are this. First of all, we're going to tell you what the award is. For the winner of the contest is going to have a chance to win $1,000. $1,000. Okay? $1,000. So in order to have a chance to win that $1,000, okay, you have to subscribe to the Ace Boon Comedy YouTube channel, okay, and once you subscribe to the channel, you have to watch the monthly weekly show. Click on the view. You either watch it live. The best way to do it is watch it live, because once you watch it live, when you leave a comment, anything you do, once you subscribe, it enters your name into the pot that many times. So if you subscribe, that enters your name one time into the pot. When you leave a comment, like Lucius Lou and Yolanda did, every time you leave a comment, that puts your name into the pot too, right? If you call into the show, when we say call in, that enters your name twice into the pot when you call in. So when you call, that's 2 times your name get entered into the pot, okay? And another way is when you once you subscribe, invite other people to subscribe. Let us know who you invited, so once they subscribe, you get your name entered that many times into the pot. For example, if you invite 5 people and you say, "Hey, Ace Boon Comedy, I invited these people, and these are their names," and they all subscribe, that's 5 net chances your name entered into the pot. So the more chances, the more parts you participate in the channel and the show, that's how many times that you get entered. If you click on like, you like the video, that's a chance your name get entered into the pot. So every time you do something, once we get to 1,000 subscribers, the first time we get to 1,000 subscribers, the next show, the next monthly weekly show we go live, we're gonna announce the winner on the show. We're gonna have the big pot with all the names in it, because we're gonna tabulate it and all that, and then add up all the numbers, names and everything, put it in there, and then we're gonna stir it up real good, like they do at the bingo thing. But we're gonna stir it up better than the bingo. We're gonna do it like the Super Lotto do it when they go on the big spin. We're gonna spin it up real good, pick a name out, and whatever that name says, they win $1,000 cash. $1,000. So spread the word. You know what I'm saying? Because when you spread the word, it's gonna help you win $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So we really trying to get this thing going. If you got people that live on the East Coast, New York, you out there watching, I know you can use $1,000 out there in New York. Up there in Montana, Seattle, North Dakota, Michigan. I know you can use some $1,000 out there in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even cleaned up that dirty water yet out there. I know you can use $1,000. And we not making light of that, because that's some dirty shit they did up here. Yeah. But everywhere, if you're in Canada watching the show, I know you can use $1,000, because $1,000 converts over to 1,200 Canadian dollars. So I know you can use $1,000. If you're in Mexico watching the show, subscribe. You know what I mean? I know you can use $1,000 out there. That's like, what, how many pesos?
Oh, man. I don't know.
That's at least, hold on, $1,000, that's at least like 15,000 pesos right now. At least. So you can use that. You know what I'm saying? So wherever you watch, if you over in Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia, you can use $1,000. Subscribe to the show. It involves you too. Everybody in the world can get this money. Anybody. So we just want to put that out there to make sure everybody understand they can get this money. And it's good.
Hello.
What's up with it?
Mr.
What's
Turner.
going on, blood?
Mr. Malc, we got you on live here at the show with us. We live on the live feed. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. I'm the celebrity guest of the week.
Yeah. Celebrity guest of the week, man. We got people live on, tuned in, live on the live stream, making comments and everything.
Yeah, okay.
Heck yeah.
What y'all talking about?
Oh, man, we ain't got to the topic of the day yet. We just doing the preliminaries. And we just shared that Drizel Washington went on the mic for the first time last night. Did his thing.
Okay. Hey, how'd it go?
Oh, he did his thing. He did good.
All right.
Heck
He's
yeah.
a natural.
Heck yeah, he stumbled a little bit at the end, but he got off like you supposed to. You know.
Yeah.
And he did good. He did good.
Yeah, I wish I had the nerve, man. It takes too much nerve to get up there like that, man. I don't want to get booed.
Oh man, I got booed for a quick minute too, man. Cause this lady was mad about because I was talking about nut is good for the skin, man, and she came back like 2 jokes later, and she was still upset about that. And she was like, "Boo, boo!" Remember you heard her?
Yeah, she was like boo, but she had like cream all over her face. So my boo.
she did not like that, man.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's the best part of humor, man. People they got to laugh themselves a little bit, man.
Exactly.
You know?
Tell us about your day.
Oh, man, I got these wild. Man, you don't even know about these fools. I deal with every day, man. You don't even want to know about these fools, man. They just mania, man. It's maniacs, man. You got folks trying to sneak out to the bathroom. Get sucked up, you know. This wildness, man.
What?
Still ain't get suspended.
What?
You know. Getting super boss.
Damn.
Cut class at 9 a.m. to go get some.
Man, we talking about the 6th grade?
Sixth grade, man. So,
God.
you know, I mean, why would you stay home? If I can go to school, I could sell weed, I could smoke weed, I could get some head, and all that. Why would I stay home?
I'm coming to school if I can do that at school.
Hey.
Not only am I coming to school, I'll be coming on the weekend.
And they can't hold you back either.
Oh man, and you still passing? Oh man.
So you know you going to 7th grade, you know, so that's cool. That part is cool.
Oh man. You talking about setting them up to fail, bro. Damn.
Man, it's just bad, man. It's, you know, the way school is now, man, it's gonna take something just, you know, drastic and traumatic to you know, get somebody kicked out of school now.
But see, the thing is though, Malc, even that goes all the way back to the whole Bush No Child Left Behind policy, right?
Yeah.
And people don't pay attention. People don't pay attention to like when things pass. They be like, oh yeah, that's wrong, black kid in. But they don't understand when anytime they do something, it's for a purpose. It's for a reason.
Yeah.
They did that. Yeah. They wasn't doing that to help the kids. They doing that to help the jail industrial complex, prison industrial complex. Because now that boy increasing his chance because he passing through with straight F's, going straight to the next grade. This more likely he gonna end up in jail, and he gonna be prime ready when he turn 18 to go straight to jail and work for the complex.
That's sad, man.
Well, you know, like the kids that I deal with, man, that's just the way they go. You know, it ain't even like no option. It's just this is what we gonna do from, you know, 11 to 13, and then from 13 to 15 I'm gonna do this, and then at 17 I'm going to jail. You know, so they it's already ingrained in them. They already know what the plan is. You know?
Yep. It's sad.
They know what the plan is.
And people talk about California being this free state and liberal state and all that. California make the most laws and they contribute to more than the prison complex than any other state, man. It's terrible.
Well, see, the funny thing is, you know, it's funny that you say that because all they talk about is, you know, on TV and everywhere else is just about what they're doing academically for these kids and how the scores is going up and this and that, you know. But yet you got problems like this going on at the school, you know. You got kids getting, you know, they just acting wild, you know. No real support services, no like emotional services, no therapy, you know, no counselors coming on campus, no Big Brother programs coming on campus, and they wonder why these kids act the way they do. You know? So it's not even like you say, it's not even really about them wondering. They already know how the kids are gonna turn out. You know, because they're not doing that now.
Exactly. Know? And that's all set up by design and people don't pay attention. The only thing they pay attention to, like you said, is the commercials that they show about all these big things going on, but it's only a handful of schools that's getting those services.
Well, those services are never in the inner city.
Never.
You know, them commercials don't be nowhere in the hood. Them commercials, you see your campus They be all clean.
Yeah.
The kids be all well manicured. You know,
Yeah.
the King's English, the King and the Queen's English.
Exactly.
You know,
They get real food for lunch, not cardboard pictures of food that they gotta eat.
Yeah. Oh man, you don't even want to talk about that food. They eat jail food for real.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I can only imagine.
Matter of fact, like the company that that our school district gets their food from also provides food for the local the county jail.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So that's how cold that is.
Yep.
Oh.
Same food. Yep.
That's how cold that is.
Which is not nutritionist at all.
Oh man, it's slap. It's slap.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bad, man. They getting them ready, man. And like this one, I was talking to this one dude yesterday. He's in 8th grade, right? He said something about going to jail. I said, nah, man, not me. I'm scared to go to jail, man. He's like, oh, man, you scared? You scared to go to jail? I'm like, yeah, I'm scared to go to jail, man. He said, nah, not me. He said, not me. When I get in there, I'm going to do something so won't nobody mess with me. I said, nah, see, you already taking it the wrong way.
Exactly.
I'm going to do something so I don't have to go to jail. That's
He already making reservations.
Exactly. He said, when I go, that's fucked up.
Oh, man, he can't wait. He can't wait to go.
But that's the mindset, though. They done prepared him for that because he don't see no hope nowhere else, so he know he going to jail. That's the fucked up part. And see, and
well,
people...
And he knows he better not be afraid of it either because it's coming.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. So instead of mentally preparing himself for college or a future in life, he's mentally preparing himself for jail. That's fucked up.
Yeah, man.
And see, that whole mindset is what people don't understand when they see, like they'll see something happen, they'll be like, oh my God, he's a criminal, he's this or she's that. Why they don't just go to school? They don't understand what the kid is surrounded by. You know what I mean?
Man.
They just trying to survive every day they wake up. The last thing they can think about is school.
Yeah, and really, while you're at school, you don't want to think about school. You can't even think about it. You know? Because then you got teachers who are old and burnt out. They don't want to deal with it. They don't care what you're going through at home. They don't care that your mama was arguing with some dude all night last night, so you ain't get no sleep because they were screaming at each other.
Yeah.
You know, on top of the fact you ain't had nothing to eat, and if you did, it was some Little Caesars pizza and some Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
You know, so your head is all messed up.
And
you
some
know,
hot Cheetos for breakfast.
oh yeah, some hot Cheetos and a pink lemonade for breakfast.
Yeah.
With some Skittles.
Yeah. So you can always get the bad shit.
Yeah, it's an ill game, man.
Oh yeah, man. We was talking a little bit about Kobe earlier too, about how players coming to the game and like new players coming to the game or whatever, and they was asking Kobe different stuff, and I know you had worked for a lot of camps and stuff with people who had worked with Kobe and you work with coaches that work directly with Kobe and stuff. Mm-hmm. And if you could give us some of your insight about that.
So, like, in terms of what?
In terms of like the Kobe's mindset and his approach to the game, you know.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's like really, it's like you see everybody saying now. You know, all them cats, you know, that speak on Kobe now, they talk about how he was a different kind of dude. You know, he was a killer. He wasn't like a lot of these dudes, especially like now. These cats now, it's like once they get that contract, they don't even care about that second or third contract. They get that first when they have it.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And that was like the thing with Kobe. You know, it's like he always played like he was the 12th man on the bench. You know, even though he was the greatest dude in the game. You know, and I think that's the biggest thing to take away people took about from Kobe, man. And I think that was also part of the reason why he never won that. He didn't get that MVP. I can't remember what year it was. I think Nash got it or somebody got it.
Oh, Nash.
You're talking about the year when he went to when him and Shaq won that first championship? Why he didn't get the MVP in the championship and stuff?
The finals MVP.
Yeah.
And I think that was by design too, like you say. You know, I think that especially at that time, you looking at an NBA that was like dominated by cats, by hip hop, really.
Yeah.
You know, and so that was a real if you couldn't have a dude like Kobe be the MVP, you know, because that would have changed the game. That would have changed.
Yep.
That would have changed the expectation for what an MVP looks like. You're
Exactly.
talking about a dude who speaks multiple languages, who's all about practice, who's all about preparation, who's all about all the things that the league is not pushing it with brothers, but always pushing it with white boys, of course.
Exactly.
But, you know, they reward brothers for being, you know, a certain kind of way. They even like Iverson. They like Iverson with the baggy. They like all the brothers with the baggy clothes, the jewelry, because they can control that.
Yep.
We control that by putting, okay, look, now we got a dress code now. You know, so now they're in check. You got them now. But you can't do that with Kobe.
Yep.
So I think had Kobe won that MVP, that would have changed a lot in the NBA. You would have seen a whole different type of brother being, you know, dominating the NBA.
Exactly.
It would have been like, it is a whole different kind of dude that had to be, you know, on top. You know, they tried to do it with Grant Hill, but he kept getting hurt. And he wasn't, you know, he wasn't as raw as Kobe or Mike. You know, they tried it.
They tried it.
You know.
Yep. That is a super point.
Like Kobe, though.
That's a super
you couldn't
point.
Control him.
That is a super point because, I mean, and that was one of the coldest points that I've ever heard anybody say about Kobe and about the league because think about it, you're right. Because if Kobe wins that MVP, that sets the example that everybody else is going to try to follow to get the MVP. And if everybody followed that example and became like-minded like Kobe was, it was ridiculous. It would have been ridiculous. That'll change everything. Because now, and I think Kobe growing up in Italy had a lot to do with that. Because he didn't grow up with that American bullshit that waters your brain down. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. See, and that's what that's the page he was trying to get Shaq on, but Shaq was too hard-headed to realize it at the time. Shaq get it now. After they retired, Shaq understood what Kobe was trying to do. Kobe was trying to elevate him, but he was too busy like, I'm your big brother. You shut up. I'm Batman. You Robin. He was off that bullshit too much with his ego, and Kobe was like, look, nigga, let's get in shape so we can run off 10 championships in a row and go down as the best ever. You know what I'm saying? But he was too busy trying to prove his point that he was the man. Kobe didn't care about that. Kobe just wanted to win.
I think that's what's going to have a big effect on Shaq's son, too, man, because Shaq's son did a lot of work with Kobe. I think, and Shaq's son got that understanding already. He always been working on his craft.
Yeah. But that mindset, Malc, is so important, like you said. And that comes from him not being waterbound about that, all that material shit that Americans care about. Oh, I want to be a hip hop star. Kobe didn't care about none of that. He grew up in Italy. He had his own mind.
Well, that's why it was so easy to control. I mean, you know, they made it seem like cats out of control with their dress and all that. That was not a problem at all.
No.
You know, their dress was not a problem at all. It was just a way, you know, to control the cats. You know, and I think, like you say, with Kobe, they didn't want that example, but I think more than that, they didn't want that expectation of this is how a brother should be handling themselves in the NBA. You know, this is the expectation.
Because they lose control.
You need to be a real dude. You can't just be like the brothers that you've been watching on TV the last 15 years. This is a new kind of brother, you know. And I think also, you know, they didn't want to push that with black folks either because, you know, we're already so divided and separate. You know, they want to keep us like that. And so, you know, they don't want black folks to realize, oh, there's a whole bunch of kind of brothers out here.
Exactly.
You know, so now we got brothers who are articulate, you know, educated, but now they sellouts.
Exactly.
You know, the only way to be a real brother is to be from the hood and to be dressing like this and acting like this. That's the only way to be a real brother.
Exactly.
You know? So they like that. They love that.
Exactly.
You know, it continues now. You know how that goes.
Yep.
You know how that goes.
And that's sad because they it's almost like that Willie Lynch thing because it's what you saying, man. It keep on going in circles, and there's always that divide and conquer, and they always divide us that same way you saying.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, watch that Willie Lynch talk, man. Y'all gonna be taken off the air.
Oh yeah, for real. Real talk.
You know that Willie Lynch is illegal.
Real talk.
Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? That's the coldest point. You put it on the head, man, because it's all about control. All these leagues, the NFL, is all about control. Keep your helmet on,
man.
shut up, go out there and just play. The NBA is the same way. You stay in line, shut up, do what you know. And Kobe was not that dude. That's why he was on the NBA's blacklist. Him and Iverson both was on the blacklist because they knew.
Right.
I mean, like you said, man, they was all. That's why when Kobe first came into the league, he was like that at 17. He was off that when he was 17, and then the media, all of them, they had to make. They basically divided the locker room up. It's Kobe, or you gonna be over here with going to the club all night. You gonna work on your game. Kobe didn't care about that even back then.
Yeah. Well, the league loves. See, that's the thing, man. Is all like you say, all these leagues, they love all that nonsensical behavior. They love all that going to the club, blowing $20,000 a night. They love that.
Yep.
You know, they want cats like they want cats to be, broke like Joe Louis when they get done.
Exactly.
Antoine Walker. They want it like that. They don't want a cat like that goes to the league like Kobe. Because imagine that, man. Yep. Imagine if Kobe, and I'm not even a Kobe fan. You know me, man. I'm not even a Kobe fan.
Yep.
But imagine Kobe won multiple MVPs. That changes the whole dynamic of how a cat is looked at as an MVP. That changes everything. It changes everything. And
the only one that they gave him, they had to give it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They had to give it to him. They had to acknowledge, because it would have been ridiculous for him to not have nothing but one MVP. No MVP.
Hey,
the greatest dude of his generation don't get not one MVP.
You know it's something up when a white man get mad for you. Larry Bird was upset when he found out Kobe only had one MVP.
Well, that's right. Larry Bird, that's because he's a real dude. Larry Bird's a real dude.
Larry Bird is a real dude.
He's a real cat, and it's just, you can just tell, I think, like, just looking back at it, you can just tell, especially the impact that Kobe was having on the game. Iverson had his impact with the Braves and the clothing and bringing hip-hop into basketball and making it, like it really should be. But Kobe was another kind of brother doing the same thing. He's coming in with the bald head, he's coming in with the intellect, he's coming in with the work ethic. He's coming at it from a different direction. The same as Iverson, just a different approach.
Way different approach.
Imagine, and you could just see after Kobe died, look at the impact that he had on so many kids and people over that time period. Just imagine how many dudes, if he would kept winning MVPs, how many dudes would have wanted to be like him? How many dudes would have learned a second and a third language? How many dudes would have worked out like him and not bullshitted around their whole fucking, career?
But
you know what I mean?
But you know what?
It would have been different.
Not only the game changes, society changes. It starts elevating the black man to a whole nother level if they start to emulate that. It's a whole nother thing. And that's why the way the league treated Kobe was so fucked up. And now we understand that was why they was doing it. They had to keep him down. Because look at how his mindset was. In the short time that he had retired from the game, look at what all he accomplished. He accomplished. He won an Oscar. He started a hedge fund that was worth over $2 billion. You know what I'm saying? All this shit he did.
You're talking about a fund that is there to support brothers after they retire from the league, so they don't fuck up and don't mismanage their money and all that.
Thank you.
Definitely at his time, man.
So it's a cold. Just looking back, it's just really sad, man, to see the way it went down and see. My biggest beef with Kobe, I think, was that, and it was because he was so young, obviously. He got caught up with that little chick, and that was the chink in his armor, that right there. Because other than that, they didn't have nothing they could get at him.
They had nothing.
So once they got at him with that chick from Colorado, it was just like, now we got him. He's not perfect. You shouldn't want to be like him.
And that's what it was. It was all a setup. It was all a setup. And it was a setup because who gets raped and then they go and sleep with 6 or 7 other dudes raw after they get raped.
They said that chick had like 8 different types of nut up in there, man.
Thank you. 7 or 8 nuts up her ass.
But see, this is another thing too. This is what I don't like about that situation. A lot of times, man, people don't never look at the accuser. They don't ever look at the facts. And that's what gets me mad, especially with the media now, man. They keep bringing up that dirt, but people need to look at the facts. Go back and look at that case. And look why the DA threw that shit out.
Exactly.
Because if that was Tyrone that worked at Domino's and was in that situation, it was only because Kobe had money for one and they wanted to tarnish his image.
Exactly.
It was
It's
obvious.
obvious. And see, that's the other thing about.
But on the other hand, look how they did old girl with the Duke. What's the name? Team, lacrosse team.
Oh yeah, they did her so dirty.
Yeah, they went berserk with that. They couldn't wait to, justify this dude.
Oh yeah. They allegedly raped her, but then all of a sudden that got threw out and she was a whore, she was a piece of shit. Right. She's her testimony is unreliable.
You about the Duke situation.
All that team.
Yeah. She can't even strip no more.
Exactly.
That's how bad they did her. She can't even strip.
Yeah, but it's funny dealing with Duke and now you're dealing with it's a whole different exactly. Right. But see they know. We got a comment, somebody just typed in a comment, or Wiz say he was getting ready to start his own league in China, like the NBA too. That was another thing Kobe was doing. Forward thinking. And that's the stuff me and you used to always talk about, like why LeBron and these players got all this star value and they don't like the league treating them. Start your own league. Y'all the stars. Man. Y'all could go start your own league and keep all that money. Forget these owners. Be your own owner. Man. And that's what Kobe was trying to do.
I want these dudes, I don't even want them to start their own league. I want them dudes to do their research, jump on with my man, go on Ancestry.com, find out where they're really from, and go play for the Ghanaian national team.
Thank you. Real talk. Real talk.
Going home for Ghana 19 times in a row.
Exactly. We out there with Ike Corte and them in Ghana, nigga.
It's going out there. Come out with that green.
Real talk. Get that green and white on. You know what I'm saying? Hey, but
instead they make cat like Giannis Antetokounmpo. They make him think he's an American. They try to take him. They try to take him away.
Trying to take him out of Greece.
Man, they wild.
Yeah. But see, it's all about keeping control. You know what I'm saying? And just think, the three things we said. Kobe trying to start his own league. He fucking started a hedge fund to help support players, and it was worth over $2 billion. He did a film that won an Oscar. All this shit in 3 years? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So
but hold on, let me finish this part. And a lot of people gon' think I'm crazy about this. These things and everything we talking about really makes me believe they killed Kobe.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, man.
I ain't got no facts to support that.
I don't put nothing past him. I also know the way he was moving out here was a little different.
I ain't got no facts to support that. I have none. But that's my opinion because he was doing too much great things. And as a black man, we already know the history. Anytime a black man is doing great things and trying to elevate people on a mass scale, I'm not talking about just doing some nice stuff here in the community. That he was doing things on a mass scale.
Yeah, on a global.
We talking about global scale. That has to be stopped. Every time.
And on top of the reaching on a global scale, when you can start reaching the youth on a global scale, that's scary.
Yeah.
Especially a black man doing that.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes a
I
factor.
don't put nothing past him at all. I don't put nothing past him at all.
So, like I said, I'm not saying it's 100% true, but it came to my mind. The first thing that came to mind, they killed Kobe. So
that's the thing. It's like that's the problem with the world when it comes to brothers. Is that the math always adds up.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yep.
The math is always just right on time all the time. It always adds up.
Yep. 2 plus 2 always equal 4. 2 plus 2 always equal 4. But when we first hear the story, it's 2 plus blank equals 4. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It's always that blank, and then 10, 15 years later, we find out, that white dude didn't really kill Martin Luther King. The FBI killed Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
And then we find out, the FBI lied and they said that white dude put that white dude in jail all these years thinking Martin Luther King was still alive, and they went up there
and suffocated him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't put nothing past him. I would not be, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be like, oh, wow, for real? It wouldn't shock me.
No, you can look it up. It's facts. It's a fact. You can look it up. Coretta Scott King.
I'm not talking about the King. I know about the King. I'm talking about Kobe.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Kobe? Okay.
He's talking about in general. It won't surprise me if they did that.
Definitely. And it goes back to what you were saying too, Dre. That society. This is what's wrong with America nowadays, and this is what they play on. America does not want to believe the truth. They condition the minds of Americans over the last 2 generations to accept a lie over the truth all day. That's why when they put something out there and it's like, oh, he raped that girl, and nobody won't even look into the facts. You know what I mean? Oh, OJ killed that chick. They won't even look at the case. Nothing. They just say OJ
Michael
did.
Jackson situation.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people. I say, just look at the facts. When the feds investigate you for 10 to 12 years and they don't come out with nothing,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you still got people saying Michael Jackson molested kids. And it's
really,
bullshit.
if you go back, and Michael had his weird background, but when you see that interview with Michael Jackson, he sounded like a kid that got molested because he was like, they took pictures of my private part. You remember when the feds went up there? But they didn't find nothing. They went all through his house.
They went through his house. They had cameras planted in his house. They had bugs planted in his house. Everything. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. We're going to go to some of the comments. We got Instant Regret. He said, can you shout out my sister? She watches you guys sometimes. Shout out to Coxie Normus.
Hope you saying it right.
I hope I'm pronouncing it. Well, shout out to Instant Regret sister. You know what I'm saying? Coxie Normus or Coxie Normus. Whoever that is, shout out to you. Thanks for watching us. And make sure you subscribe and be part of the contest so you can win $1,000.
Shout out to Coxie. I think it's Coxie. Yeah.
Oh, somebody said, and I my ass off. Somebody playing some.
Oh, they playing us. Oh, they stupid.
Coxie Normus. Stupid ass.
Coxie Normus. Oh, Coxie Normus. Oh, shit. Oh. That's a good one.
That's hella funny.
Oh,
that's hella. I'll you right back.
Okay, hit us back, man. Hit us back. That's hella funny.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. That was funny. Got us on that one. And Will said Americans scared of Black America. That's true too.
Man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
They're still from us, but they hate when we innovate amongst each other though.
Hell yeah, that was Mr. Malc on the Taco Me Studios phone line, on the hotline, Taco Me Studios hotline, I should say. But call in to chime in if you got anything to talk about what we talking about, or you just want to, we'll say y'all late. Call the number 833-ACE-ACE-4. 833-ACE-ACE-4. Call the number.
Oh.
ACE-ACE-4. But I guess since we having technical difficulties, we gonna get ready to wrap the show up. It'll be a shorter episode this time, but a lot of the stuff we talked about was real talk, though. You know what I mean? And we was gonna go in on another topic, but that it never gets old to me talking about the Kobe situation because he was such a great dude. And such a multi-talented, multifaceted dude.
Just ahead of his time, and I'm still in shock. But rest in peace, and to those families too, man. Because that's a tough time. Always losing people that's close to you is always tough, man. So and it seemed like a family member for real. It's a tremendous loss.
Yeah,
especially really when a black man, a young black man like that, man, that adds to your race. But at the same time, get others to accept you.
See, you just said race, and I don't mean to correct you or anything, but I want us to start changing the vocabulary on that because we are part of the human race, right? We all, as humans, but we all have different subcultures under the human race.
Yeah.
So
true.
I feel like we should just say as a black man, or just say the black subculture.
Okay,
black subculture.
I'll say the black man, because really, I feel like they're just trying to get rid of us. Anything with a black man improving itself and improving others, I think that's what's key. And see, that's the thing. They always they always try to make us downplay us, man. That's one thing. That's why I think another thing. That's why I trip off about Kobe a lot. Mm-hmm. Kobe knew who he was. That's what I'm saying. Even though he was married to outside his race and all of that, you can't say he was a proud black man.
Yeah.
You know, first and foremost. So,
exactly.
But he was an intelligent black man, ahead of his time, could speak different languages. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
He remind me of myself.
Man, it's just sad that we lost that, and of course, you know, any kind of way they can tarnish that, they will.
Yep, he's trying to achieve great things. A black man trying to achieve great things and speaking multiple languages. Because I feel like for the youngsters that's out there watching, try to learn different languages because that's the way you open yourself to the world. Yeah. You in this country and you think, oh, English is the only thing that matters. It's a whole big-ass world out there, people that you can connect with. And you live actually in a bubble here in this country. Get out of this bubble and get out there. A few youngsters out there watching. Learn another language. And it'll open up your whole mind, and it'll open up your whole world to different opportunities of meeting people and whole different facets of life. It's good. Yeah. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram at Ace Boon Comedy, or Ace Boon Comedy on my IG. You know what I'm saying? And we got DJ Cali Cal coming back.
Oh, DJ Cal.
We missed him last show.
Uncle Dicky Fingers, Coxie Enormous Fingers.
That was a good one. Whoever put that one out there, they gonna get it. They gonna get extra names on the thing. That was a good one. Instant regret. That was a funny one.
Oh man.
But in any case, though, keep on following the show. Participate in the contest, the loyal follower contest. You know what I'm saying? Also, remember, just show love to everybody. You know what I'm saying, in this thing. All right, we gonna be out. Stay tuned for the next one next week. See y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.